How big's your stack on Pulse Chain? How big's your stack? Heavy stack, heavy stack. How big's your stack on Pulse Chain? How big's your stack? Heavy stack, heavy stack. I was looking for a chain, something new, decentralized, either new, stacking PLS. Stacking PLSs, liquidity on the decks. Somebody help me. My sack is so heavy. Get the Sparkswap, get the DEX vaults, get the GOAT token, Legion protocol, get some PDI, get some P-drip, get some teddy bear, get some P-hex. You know we here for the 100x. With your heart, always with the Gucci bags. I asked you once, I asked you twice. How big's your stack on Pulse Chain? How big's your stack? Heavy stack, heavy stack. How big's your stack on Pulse Chain? How big's your stack? Heavy stack, heavy stack.
It's both a blessing and a curse. Having a sack this big.
My sanctuary.
PulseChain.com. Awesome. It's got higher throughput. It's deflationary. It burns 25% or more of the fees. There's no inflation. It never mints new coins. It's going to be the world's largest free airdrop. So people love free money. And they don't like the high fees. And this addresses all those issues. It's really cool. Could Pulse do the same 10,000x that Hex did? Yes, it could. The likelihood of that event? I don't know.
I got a few tricks up my sleeve. I got some more cool shit coming.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP Money. My name is AJ, I'm the team lead here, and this is our live AMA. We come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. We are a little bit late today because we have a jam-packed episode, but before we get to all that, let me introduce my co-host with the most and fellow team member, LA. LA, how are you?
Hey guys, what's up?
What's
I'm
up? What's
good.
up? Good. Glad to hear it. I know before the stream we had a guess what Cool Sheet song we're gonna open with. So and LA won. I didn't. She
Did
didn't
you
cheat.
catch that scene where they're all walking with their sacks towards the Magic Kingdom?
Yeah, the Disney reference. Totally. I think that's hilarious. Yeah, Cool
I
Sheet
love it.
gave us a little shout out, or me a shout out, I guess. But yeah, so again, we the big talk today is the future bridge integration, which we'll get to. Some super duper alpha coming. So I had to switch things up. We couldn't do the bridge song. We had to do the Pulse Sacrifice song. How big is your sack? So and it's pretty timely because we are headed back to sacrifice price. I know a lot of people have been panicking in the Pulse community, but again, this is all part of how crypto evolves. So we'll talk a lot about that. We're going to start with a bit of a market update, and we'll go into, like I said, some alpha in terms of Sparkswap, some bridging alpha, and upcoming potential, or now it's confirmed, partnerships. So we'll talk about that as well. And LA, I think we have a pretty long question section today as well, right?
Buckle up for a long one. Our notes are so long that we maxed out 2 full messages. Like, we even pay for premium. So that's a long ass note section.
Yeah,
Just prepare.
totally.
And that doesn't include the Q&A. So it's going to be a juicy long one. Lots of info tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. So hang out with us. We'll get to everything. And again, if you're listening to the recording, we will have everything timestamped so that you can get to the info you want as well. So, all right, let's start with the market update. Um, again, I mentioned it a minute ago, but there is a lot of red on Pulse right now. I know it can be frustrating to see other coins pumping while Pulse is lagging and even Spark is lagging. But it's all part of the process. I mean, you have to understand, we're not even, 8 months in as a chain, let alone, Spark as a project. And, when you look back at the volatility of all the major L1s and L2s, it's not just up and to the right. I mean, it is over a long term, it's up and to the right, but over short terms, there are the peaks and valleys that we see. So, right now, we're just on a valley, and a lot of that is because of the infighting with the hexagons. And again, I know that that can be frustrating. For those that don't know, Richard came out and basically declared p hex, or your hex on Pulse, the real hex. And again, uh, there's a lot that goes into this, so I'll try to be as short as I can. But just because Richard declares that doesn't mean there's not opportunity for everybody. And you got a one-to-one copy of your hex, on Pulse. So, it wasn't doubling your bag. It was giving you a copy of what you had. Now, it worked out where both of those had a lot of value, and it essentially did double your bag. But, the money has to come from somewhere. And so, making much more economically efficient on Pulse is attractive. I mean, that's the whole reason that Richard started Pulse, is because the ETH fees are highway robbery when you're trying to do hex stakes. So, I mean, it's all part of the plan, I think. Again, this is my personal opinion on what's happening inside of Richard's head, but and I do think there's an argument to be made that EHEX will recover as well. Again, for those that don't know, there was a major hack um, with one of the OA wallets, and a hacker got a lot of EHEX. And so I think that was also part of the plan, as Richard is trying to, shake out the hacker or eliminate value from the hacker being able to dump hex on everybody's heads. And the same sort of thing happened with, Ethereum. For those, again, a lot of people don't know this, but Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, those two there was a hard fork, and during that time was a lot of infighting in the Ethereum community because they were trying to fork out, um, again, a major hacker at the time. So the Ethereum that we all know and love, that isn't technically the original Ethereum. Ethereum Classic is. So again, it's all part of how crypto operates, and I'm not concerned one bit. Obviously, it sucks to see red days, but this is a day for, in a few days now, for accumulation, right, LA? Oh, I restored her when she's not ready.
Sometimes I hit that button like 3 or 4 times and it won't unmute me.
Yeah,
Yes.
no worries. Yeah, go ahead, LA. I don't know if you want to add anything, but
Yeah, no. One thing that I've been particularly impressed with is I've been watching the Spark charts over the last 4 or 5 days, and I've noticed that in spite of red days, our buy volume has consistently been more than our sell volume, and that shows me that Sparkies really know what's up and really get it now, and all the education that we've done, and um, you know, the charts and everything we've posted, and the community members creating strategies and all that stuff. Like, it's really clicking, and a lot of Sparkies are loading up during these dips to strengthen their positions, because they understand that these are the times that you do that, right? These are the opportunities to strengthen your position when we do have the dips. So it's
100%.
been inspiring to see that in action, and just to see that Sparkies get it.
Yeah, I cannot agree more, LA. And again, I mean, you know, if you look at our chart, in the ratio of PLS now, we're actually gaining on PLS, which is another great sign. So, you know, I know again, we're hitting local lows on Spark and PLS, but over time, when the tides turn, we could see some incredible, momentum. And again, I mean, I know we're all super excited. We're, in a full bull market now, pre-halving, which is uncharted territory. But remember, historically speaking, there was always a pretty substantial dip after the halving, and then we see it absolutely skyrocket after the halving. So, what we're seeing right now, we typically don't see until, October. So we're almost a year ahead of schedule, and it could just lead to even more incredible price appreciation beyond what we even know and expect in some of these alts for sure. And again, that's not financial advice. It could be a dud, but at least we know at Spark we are generating real yield regardless of the price action. And again, the volume on the DEX, the volume in perps, this is a great segue into talking about Sparkswap now, but regardless of price action, as long as there's volume, which there is quite a bit of volume, then we're all winning. So just keep that in mind. Yield is way more important than price appreciation. And the moment that you really understand that, and again, I know it sounds strange because in crypto, everybody says, we want the token to moon to do something. Everything is measured by how high in price the token is. But in our particular platforms, it's the yield that matters. So, yeah, again, LA, I don't know if you want to add to that before we jump into Spark specifically, but
Yeah, during times when there are dips, pay attention to the yield that you're earning, not the dollar amount, but the amount of yield you're earning, and just concentrate on the fact that you have an opportunity here to yield in a project every single day that you know is not going to rug tomorrow. Um, and you're going to stay really well informed every step of the way. We're going to continue innovating, and you can rest assured that there's going to be a future ahead in this project, and you're going to have an opportunity to continue yielding so that when there's green days, that yield you're earning is going to be worth a whole hell of a lot more.
yes, amazing. Absolutely perfectly said. Yeah, and again, just to piggyback on that, like I said, with Pulse specifically, in Sparkler, and Spark for that matter, both of those tokens, when they're down, again, Pulse and Spark both being down, over the last few days, you're earning much more tokens. And that's what LA says when, or means when she says focus on the actual amount, not the dollar value. Because again, from somebody that doesn't know, we don't ever try to just come on here and say, "Hey, ignore the price, it's going down, ignore the price." No, it's a lot more intelligent than that. We say focus on the token amount, meaning you're earning much more Spark and Pulse per token when prices go down because all the yield is calculated in dollar value. So again, as yield as Spark and PLS go up, it's not buying back as much Spark and PLS than when the numbers are down. So again, just giving everybody a lot more insight, and it really helps when you look under the surface and actually try to think about what's happening rather than just getting upset that the chart is red. So, all right, I think that was great. All right, so let's move on to Sparkswap specifically. Um, the perps have been killing it. So we just went into the beta launch of perps. We announced that last week. This is the open public beta, and it's been killing it so far. So, LA, do you want to share some of the stats real quick?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I've been so excited. I've been like a stats nerd, which I'm not normally, but I keep a tab open just to look at the stats a few times a day because it excites me. I like to look at those little purple graphs.
For
Um,
sure.
but so on March 7th, we opened it up to a very small group of beta testers, just with BTC, just a small handful of people to start testing, to give us some feedback, to catch any kinks that we needed to get our devs to work on. And then a few days later, we opened up to our VIPs. And then, I don't know, 4 or 5 days after that, we opened up to everybody, which was a few days ago. So overall, it's been about 10, 11 days, and we have already seen $1.23 million in volume. And that is with only 54 users. So that is quite phenomenal. And the amount of users is intentionally low. We're not marketing this. We have literally posted it one time in all of our places. And we are not posting it a ton of times. We're not doing AMAs and stuff right now because it is in beta, and we do want to give this small handful of users, whoever is joining right now, an opportunity to use it a bunch. And if there are any, UI problems or anything that comes up that you think could be improved upon, we want to hear about it so that we can make this PERPS platform absolutely everything we envisioned and more. Maybe there's some things we didn't even think of that you do that we can add to it before we start incorporating these pulse chain tokens and launch it to the masses. Because when we do the full launch, it is going to be absolutely massive. We're going to go ham on marketing. We are going to start a full force AMA train again, and we are going to be putting it out in a ton of places. So we want to have this beta period to have this small handful of 50 to 100 users, or however many people catch on during this period when we're really not promoting it very much. But the fact that there's already over $1 million of volume in under 2 weeks with such few users is just very impressive. We're very excited about the growth thus far.
Yeah, no doubt, LA. Again, we knew Perps was going to be powerful, and the fact that, like LA said, we haven't even begun to really push it yet, and we're already seeing the interest and volume, and feedback that we're getting, that it's incredible and people love it. It's smooth. I mean, all of those are really great signs. So, again, just to reiterate, I mean, beta is there for a reason. I mean, in software development, beta is a very important stage, and that doesn't mean that that the platform is not safe. Obviously, there still may be some minor bugs, and like I said, the main focus is really the UI and the user experience. So again, if any of you have suggestions, please feel free to reach out. We love hearing from you, and that will help us make perps better so that when we do pour gasoline on the fire, and trust me, we do. I mean, we have influencers lined up. Again, we're starting with BTC and ETH, but Pulse and Hex and Inc. All those are ones that are coming. Pulse X, and then even outside of Pulse, like Doge and what Bonk, dog with hat, all your favorite memes, all that we love to hate or love to speculate on. Those can be added, and that is the beauty of our platform. And I think we have a question about this later on, but I'll just go ahead and talk about it really quick right now. But the Perpetuals platform, it's not a fork of anything. It is a reverse engineered inspiration from GNS or Gains Network, and it's not a GMX fork. So what this means is we're able to settle trades from a centralized liquidity pool where we don't need to have tokens or collateral of the actual tokens being traded. And again, centralized exchanges say they have those tokens and collateral on hand, but in most cases, again, this is just my personal opinion, but I don't think any sectors have the amount of collateral that they say they do. So it's almost like a decentralized centralized exchange experience. And that is so much more flexible and powerful because you can speculate on, the price of pretty much any token and anywhere. And, the way that we're able to just make sure there's no issues is that we never allow open trades larger than settling whatever the liquidity pool has. So, there would never be a situation where whatever trade you made and won, that we would not be able to make good on that through SDI. So, again, just to give everybody a little bit of background, and it's been working flawlessly. Again, we've also been audited. We have that audit report coming. I don't know, LA, I've been a little out of the loop over the weekend, but do we know if we have that report ready yet, or maybe in the next few days?
Yes.
Yeah.
Drop the alpha.
All
We
right.
actually back. I don't even know if I was supposed to announce this or not, but I think we're good to announce it. As of I think about 2 hours ago, we heard back that the audit came back. We're all good. We have it. Yeah.
Amazing. All right, killer.
I hadn't posted yet because I was just waiting to see if Hacken was going to make a post that I could share. Because I think usually they do that. Or I wasn't sure if we were going to make a post and they were going to share it. So I was just trying to work out the logistics on that before we go ahead and post about it. But yes, that's exciting stuff.
All right, amazing. So there you go. Again, we'll have, that's why you got to come to the AMAs. You hear all the alpha, alpha, alpha. But yeah, we'll share that again publicly as soon as we have it. It's ready. We just gotta go through the proper channels. So, all right, well that's great news. Again, I knew it was gonna pass, but it's always great to have, that, confirmation. And yeah, I mean, this Perps platform. Again, we've been in beta, like LA said, for, at least probably 15 days total, and then there was a lot more testing of this beta platform on another chain as well. So everything is looking great. But all right, so just to end the perps talk, we will again after another week or two. Now that we have the audit, now that we're adding additional pairs, we will be doing a giant AMA train all over again, really getting the word out through all the Pulse, heavy hitters. So, all right. What else, LA? Oh, yeah, you can maybe go into this a little more about the tutorials. I know I recorded
Yes.
them, but LA has been hard at work editing all of them. They're taking forever to edit because I have to start and stop 100 times. But yeah, go ahead, LA.
Yeah, so between AJ and I, we have been hard at work behind the scenes, just creating a whole bunch of really useful tutorials uh, for our bridge specifically. And they're aimed to educate mostly new users and help onboard a ton of users to Sparkswap and then just like to Pulse Chain in general. They take users both directions from on ramping and off ramping. We are using Spritz and Coinbase. So they have two pathways depending on their preference. And you know how much we love Spritz. So we had to include that. And just a huge shout out to Spritz. As a side note, their team is absolutely incredible. I mean, they just keep impressing us more and more. We reached out last week and asked them if they wouldn't mind adding an additional chain option for onboarding so that we could make these tutorial videos. And before the end of the day, they had added a new chain option, which was Arbitrum for us. They're just so incredibly accommodating and have such great customer service. They've just been such great partners. So huge shout out to them. Of course, we want to promote that as an option over a centralized exchange because it's just so much easier. One of the things that people complain about the most with on ramping from a centralized exchange is a lot of the time their funds get held for 3, 5, 7, 10 days. I've heard it many times when we've been doing different launches of NFTs and stuff, and people reach out and they're like, I'm going to miss the deadline. My funds are held. I was trying to on-ramp and they're stuck. I don't know if I'm going to make it. And that's not an issue with Spritz. So anyways, awesome educational videos. They take people all the way from on-ramping through using our bridge, getting onto Pulse Chain, and then using our bridge off of Pulse Chain to Arbitrum and BSC through Spritz and off-ramping, and they're really great. And then today, I'm going to be posting this one tonight. I did an additional video that is a lot shorter and just explains to newer DeFi users how to use DBank to check your bridge transactions to see if the funds arrived. Being one of the two people that does the most tech support, and shout out to Stinky Beans because he does a whole hell of a lot of it as well. We're seeing that lately the majority of people who believe they have stuck bridge transactions simply just don't realize that their funds arrived, and typically within 1 minute. And it's because they just don't know how to check that they arrived. And so I don't blame them at all. It's just you have to start somewhere when you're learning, right? So we are really big advocates of education. We love for our community members to be really well educated. So we got to create those tools. And so this video basically teaches you how to go to DBank, check your transaction, see that it arrived, add the contract address for whatever token you bridged into, and check your portfolio to see if that token is now in your wallet. And it's pretty simple from there. And that is going to pop up in our group when someone has a stuck bridge transaction, to ask them a number of prompts to kind of troubleshoot before we then go into DMs with them to eliminate stuck bridge transactions that aren't really stuck.
Perfect. I love it. Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, again, Ella and I joke in our team chats. You know, even today, I think one of the bridges that we were experimenting with, bridge transactions, took literally like 5 seconds. And again,
Oh my God, no, the
yeah,
one on the
we'll tell them.
video.
Yeah.
The one on the video took 20 seconds. It was
Yeah.
insane. It was so cool to get to show that on video.
Totally. So there you have it. I mean, again, and results may vary. So please understand, that's an hour. An hour is the, grace period. But again, my point is, a lot of times the bridge actually works as it's supposed to, and people just don't know that they have their funds or where their funds are. So yeah, we'll work on that. Again, we have a lot of videos coming. Yeah, go ahead, Ellie.
I do want to say one thing today that I didn't even realize until I was making the video about DBank. Okay. So I was using just a test wallet, not my own usual wallet. And so I had never interacted with Pulse Chain on that wallet before. So there was zero PLS in that wallet, and I had never added the SDI contract address onto that wallet. And so I bridged from BSC DAI to Pulse Chain SDI. And when I finished that transaction, I went to the transactions on DBank and it showed it completed. But then I toggled over to my portfolio and I went to all chains, but it didn't show Pulse Chain, and it didn't show any SDI in my portfolio. And for a split second, I was like, that's interesting. I haven't added the SDI contract address to my wallet yet, but so often on DBank in other wallets that I haven't used for a while, I discover LPs or tokens that I didn't even remember I had in there. So I thought for sure DBank would have shown it even if I hadn't added the contract address. But because I hadn't interacted with that chain yet at all on that wallet, DBank didn't show it. And so now I understand much clearer as an admin why people don't think that the funds are in their wallet, because even if they're checking DBank, if they haven't added the contract address, it's not showing in their wallet, of course, but it's also not showing on DBank. So the second I added the contract address for SDI, I'm pretty sure if I had have added some PLS, it would have done the same thing. As long as I interacted with Pulse Chain in some fashion, it then showed Pulse Chain on my DBank, and now the SDI populated. So that's an interesting thing that I didn't even realize was a thing. Maybe you guys all did, I didn't. So just an interesting little fact there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I didn't know that either, LA. So, and that's really good to know because one thing I use DBank for that I think a lot of people would benefit from is it's also a great way to kind of airdrop hunt. And I'm not talking about the scammy airdrops. I'm talking about, legitimate airdrops that, either you got or you maybe even funds that you forgot about. I know, first world problems for sure. But sometimes there'll be funds on a chain, that I forgot that I had used, a year ago or whatever. And DBank is an amazing way to make sure that you can locate your funds. And yeah, that makes sense, LA. As long as you've interacted with that chain, it should show up for sure. And we talk about it a lot in the tutorials that are coming out. But it's another great reason to be using Rabby. So I know, we've talked about it many times. I know a lot of you are still MetaMask diehards, and again, I get it. I don't like change myself, and especially when you're talking life altering money at stake. If your wallet was hacked or whatever else. So, but I can say that Rabby was the best decision. One of the best decisions I've ever made in crypto. It's just so much better, so much easier. Um, I'm pretty sure it's the same. DBank and Rabby are the same team. I can't say 100%. Rabby uses the DBank, API in the wallet, which again, you don't have to go to DBank. You can just look at all those coins and tokens right in your wallet itself. And again, I mean, even the transactions, you'll be able to see when you bridge, the funds leave your wallet to go to the bridge, and then the account or the transaction from, the bridge onto the chain that you're bridging to, all right in the wallet itself. So yeah, that's another reason why everybody should be using Rabby, but and it just seems to be working better as well. But yeah, and the RPCs, I mean, again, we go through all this in the tutorials, but you do have to make sure if you're using MetaMask that you're changing your RPC depending on what chain you're on. And if you're using Rabby, all that is done for you. That's one of the things I love most about Rabby, especially if you're doing a lot of crypto, transactions. It will automatically detect and change what RPC to use based on what you're doing. So, and this would be a great time to post our Rabby affiliate link, right, LA? I didn't do it on
Yes.
purpose, but yeah, I mean, it is just so much better.
Um, and I'm pretty sure even also in the Sparkswap group, I'm going to do it right now. We have even a prompt that if you just type Rabby, it automatically pops up, which is cool. Yep.
Cool.
It's an easy way for me to just find it quickly to
All right.
post
Well, we'll
on
post
YouTube.
that there for sure.
There
So,
we go.
all right, perfect. And yeah, so we have a lot of questions too. Again, I'm gonna go through just a few really quick because they are Spark related, and we have a ton at the end. So I don't want to lose these. But one is a great question. It says, is it possible to know how much Sparkler is max staked for 3,650? Again, that's our 3650 squad maximum stakes. Um, we have to run a specific API to get that data. So I don't have the most up-to-date info, but the last time we looked, I mean, I know I can tell you about 40% of all Spark is locked up in Sparkler, and out of that 40%, I'd say if I had to put a percentage on it, the last time we looked, it was about 80% of all Spark and Sparkler is max staked. So that is so bullish because, again, I mean, our circulating supply is very, very low. But yeah, sorry, phone's ringing. Do you want to add to that, LA? I don't know if you have any other info, but
Yeah, I don't have a ton else to add to that.
okay.
I don't know how we would specifically display just the max stakes. I do know that Vino is great at showing us overall how much is of our circulating supply is locked up in Sparkler, but I don't know how we would specifically display just the 3650.
Yeah, when we update our new UI, again, I know we've been talking about that on a few AMAs as well. That's moving up the priority list. I'll look into that. Again, we have the data. It's just because the contract is closed source, we have to run our own metrics to find that out. But yeah, that could be part of the UI on the new website update to show not only how much is staked, which you can see now, but also, the percentage of maximum stakes or otherwise. So, all right, awesome. I saw one more I wanted to talk really quick, and then we can move on. Oh, yeah, so two actually, sorry. The first one is there a forecasting measurement tool that we can use on perps? And yes, this is a great question. So you have all the tools at your disposal that you would on TradeView, which is pulling the price data anyway. You just have to go to the top right of the Perps homepage after you're signed in, and you'll hit the little settings cog. It's like a wheel, like a gear or cog. You press that little button, and then it'll say Advanced Chart Settings. You toggle that over, and then you'll have all of the tools um, that you need. And we went over that in the walkthrough of Perps. If you watched the last AMA, I specifically mentioned that, so you'll be able to see exactly how to get it to show up. All right, cool. And then the last one um, was from Roman. Yeah. So yeah, this is an incredible suggestion. And again, to my point on why beta is important and we want people to, give us our feedback. Basically, he's asking, or she's he, is asking, I would love to see partial closing of positions and adding extensions to positions, as I like to take partial profit when writing things up and down on trades. So, yeah, I mean, you can do a little bit of that already, but it's not as robust as what you're asking. Um, you are able to kind of edit your stop loss. Again, you just click on the open trade, and it will allow you to update your target uh, and your stop loss. But I think you're asking for more of a ladder type setup. So, that's a great suggestion. I don't know. That may be a heavier lift in terms of development than it sounds, but I will find out for sure. I think that's the second time that you or at least somebody else has mentioned that, and I think it's a great suggestion. So, yeah, we will take that back to the devs for sure. So, all right. And yeah, sorry, LA. I know I just want to go through those before we got to questions at the end. Was that any of those questions we have for later, or hopefully not?
No,
But
those are perfect.
okay,
Yeah, those are great. Yeah.
cool. All right, awesome. All right, so that's it for Spark updates. Any other updates on Spark LA before we move on?
I think we're good to move on. We got a lot more to cover,
All right,
so.
perfect. So yeah, we'll try to move through this a little quicker here, but like we said, it's going to be a long one. So I do have an update on the ERS ecosystem. We had those guys on about a week ago with their ROI platform, but ERS is a great ecosystem with some trusted devs that have secondary tokens that actually burn Spark and Glass and some other partner tokens that we have. And they just announced that they added EMP to their Abyss token. So we're going to do a specific post about this in our socials after the AMA, but I wanted to mention it. This is extremely bullish because this is just one more thing that will burn Spark and EMP. So just make sure to keep an eye out for that. And don't get scammed. We'll post the exact contract address when we can, but or as soon as this AMA is over. But shout out to them. Thank you for all they do in helping to develop additional use case. With our tokens. I mean that is the sign of really an amazing community when other developers are building product market fit for your tokens in a non-predatory manner. So all right, awesome. Moving on to SwapX. So again, this is some major alpha. We have a lot to go over today, but LA, do you want to just read the announcement really quick and then I'll elaborate?
For sure. So we'll be working with a new upcoming SwapX exchange, one of the first decentralized exchanges based on V4 technology on X1, the upcoming L2 OKX network. We will be releasing more info on how closely we'll be working together, but rest assured we plan on offering the first X1 to PLS bridge on the market. This will bridge literally both communities and provide value from day one. With this, we have been given the opportunity to share the whitelist sign up form through our community. This gives you the chance to invest in SwapX during the pre-sale round. I'll go ahead and post the link to the form. It's imperative that if you are filling out the form and you do intend to take advantage of this whitelist opportunity, you do select the option that says AJ slash dash EMP slash Spark as your referral in the form so we get credit and so that you can assure that you're getting a whitelist spot. And this is to gauge interest and also to qualify you to actually purchase in the pre-sale, as it is first come, first served at a later date. We'll also be doing a joint AMA with them on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The information for that is pinned in all of our groups. We did post it shortly before this AMA. And we'll be discussing some additional information about additional integrations, what makes SwapX, Spark, and EMP special, and we'll be doing. Yeah, I think that's it, actually.
Yeah, no, 100%. Thank you, LA. So yeah, this is super bullish. Again, for those that know the history with SwapX, they know how powerful this is. For those of you that don't know, again, we'll talk about all this in the joint AMA on Wednesday, but this is from a superly popular dev. Again, a lot of people don't know the history. I will definitely go into all that, but it's a trusted dev with some massive projects under his belt. And we're so excited because, again, the Spark and EMP, side of things, the integration is compounded, and I'll tell you how. Again, the one thing is the bridge. I mean, that's a pretty obvious. So we will be implementing the bridge technology where utilizing the community and the liquidity on the X1 side, and then we have the liquidity on the Pulse side. This will be a way that we can again literally bridge the projects. That means more accessibility to Pulse overall through the bridge and more options for those that want to get in and out of X1. And again, this is OKX, the popular exchange. This is their new network, so there should be a ton of volume over there. And we're also going to be getting involved a little bit deeper with them as well. So I don't want to drop too much alpha on our own AMA as much as I would love to. I don't want to steal the thunder from the AMA on Wednesday, so it's really important that you guys and gals join that AMA on Wednesday, because we'll be talking about how we're gonna again utilize some of our tech even with them. And at the end of the day, all of that is used to support, at least from our side. Obviously, we're not in control of emissions and allocations from the X1 side, but everything that we do in terms of the bridge fees to Pulse and anything that we have control over, that is more volume and more fees to Spark and EMP. So again, it's a way that we can continue to scale without having to literally build our own decks all over again on a new network. So it's super bullish. It allows us to scale, a lot faster and still make money in the process. So, and again, when I say make money, I mean bring money back to our own ecosystems. So, again, join us for that AMA. I'll drop a lot more alpha on that AMA. But what you need to know right now is there is a lot of opportunity in the pre-sale as well. So, if you fill out that link again that LA mentioned, and we'll post it, we have it posted already, but we'll post it again. The whitelist form is everything. So you want to make sure that you have whitelisted, and we are working on actually guaranteeing some allocation as well. So those that have committed to, at least 5 NFTs or more, I think we're going to start there and see the sort of interest that we're getting, and then we can open it up hopefully a little bit lower than that. But because we are an official partner now, we are getting some guaranteed allocation, which would be before the first come first served section of the raise. So and if you're an EMP VIP member, you guys will all be getting priority as well. So it's another reason, all of you that are here and paying attention and supporting, you guys get first dibs. So please, again, spread the word. The whitelist under my name, it says AJ-EMP Spark. Because, again, all the commission that we get on the raise goes to the treasury, and that is yet another revenue stream for our protocol. So, help us help you by promoting this and getting everybody excited about SwapX, and how we can continue to build together. So yeah, again, LA, I know it's still pretty new and a lot of information will be coming out, but anything that I missed or you want to clarify?
Yeah, I don't know if this is something you want to cover tonight or if you do want to wait till Wednesday, but just as a very general basis, do you want to give everyone just like a little basis for those who don't know about what this network is and what this B4 technology is, or is
For
that
sure.
something you want to cover
Yeah,
on
no,
Wednesday?
absolutely. I guess it would be helpful if you knew what you were getting into, right? Yeah, so I can take a minute and go over that. So this is a V4 DEX on again X1 or OKX's new network. Again, it's pretty popular now that a lot of these big centralized exchanges will create their own layer twos. So we saw it with KuCoin. We've seen it obviously with Binance and BNB. That's the prime example. So this is OKX's new network. It's called X1, and then SwapX is again a V4 DEX that's being built by a very trusted dev. His name is BB, but we'll talk about who he is on their AMA. Um, and yeah, so a V4 DEX is basically utilizing concentrated liquidity, like V3. So not rather than having, we're V2, rather than having an LP that's just 2 tokens in an LP, V3 expanded on that, where you can have, concentrated liquidity, where you can specify the range of your LP pairs, which again, the goal is to eventually move Spark to V3 as well, Spark DEX to V3. But V4 is even one step further where you can vote on allocation of the emissions of the rewards through a voting mechanism that utilizes the reward token. So it's really bullish because, again, just like Sparkler, it's not as bullish as Sparkler because you're not earning real yield. However, the NFTs that you're buying in this pre-sale, they do offer real yield. So that is a really really cool thing with this fundraising opportunity is you get a percentage of fees from the protocol, just like you would in Sparkler. Um, but yeah, so V4 is just the next evolution, and they have a lot of other really cool announcements, um, like an automatic liquidity manager as well, where just like kind of like our vaults, um, you can actually specify the range of liquidity that you want to keep, and then they have a third party that keeps it in that range. So again, there are maybe some security risks in that, but they're taking all the due diligence they can to make this really special. So I'm really bullish on it. Again, personally speaking, um, and it is taking the best of everything that we've seen in as far as decentralized exchanges and combining it all into one. So and we're happy to have our hands in the mix for sure. So all right, and yeah, you get all the pricing information is in that form when you pull it up, but you're essentially buying an NFT, and then that NFT not only does it give you a percentage of yield from real revenue from the protocol, but it also entitles you to an airdrop of a certain amount of SwapX tokens. So again, all that detail is in the form, so please go to that form and read it all and fill it out. And then we'll walk through it all before the deadline too, but just get it filled out ASAP. So and make sure you put again AJ and EMP Spark as the referrer. So all right, LA, did that help? Yeah.
Yeah, I think you gave a nice introduction to it there for sure.
Okay, perfect. And we're going to talk more about it, a lot more about it, as it gets closer. You do have some time. You don't have a ton of time, but you do have, at least another probably. Again, if our interview's on Wednesday, I'd say safely maybe another week or so, but don't wait that long. So, all right. Anything else about SwapX?
No, I think you're good. Just mark in your calendar Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern,
Perfect. Yep.
8 p.m.
Yeah. Awesome. And that AMA will be in their Telegram. However, we are going to record it and upload it to the YouTube. So just keep an eye out for that for sure. So, all right. Moving on now to EMP. Again, LA, do you want to just cover some of this and then I'll reiterate?
Yes, we did have a short issue with the Detonator Defenders over the weekend, and as soon as we were notified, we did get the issue rectified yesterday, so they should be good to go now. I did want to give a small note on how issues are being reported moving forwards. So if you do notice anything out of place, it's really, really super important to get them reported in the correct manner, or else it's risking the potential for those things to go days without being noticed. We have systems in place so that we can offer this really amazing support that all of you are used to. And I think you can agree that we most of the time get things cleared up extremely quickly. But we can only do that if those systems are followed. And so if you're on Discord, please always open a ticket right away if you notice something's off. And especially if it's something that affects everybody, not just you, don't hesitate to tag me in your ticket so that I notice right away and I can make sure the devs know. And if you're on Telegram, please tag me if it's a larger issue as well so that I see it right away. If you're leaving something in the AMA notes, I check those notes the day of the AMA or maybe the night before, but I don't check them every day because we don't have AMAs daily. And if you're leaving them in the middle of a discussion, especially on Discord, I very likely will not see them, especially if I'm not tagged in them. And so you very much so are running the risk of things going unnoticed for days at a time if those systems are not being followed. And so I know that it seems like AJ and I are everywhere all at once, and we have the ability to accomplish a million things every single day. And we do work an extreme amount of hours, but the only reason that we're able to accomplish as many things as we do is because we have some very distinct systems in place that allow us to get those things done. And so if you guys don't mind helping us out with that, we can for sure get anything cleared up very quickly if we're made aware of them. Yeah, that's that.
All right, awesome. Sorry, yeah, I was muted again. So, all right, yes, and that is again, we like I said, we like to think that there's 10 of us, but we haven't figured out how to clone ourselves yet. So it is really important that we follow those correct paths to make sure it gets addressed. So, all right, thank you, LA. All right, moving on. Again, I know I see everybody in the comments, the typical Fusion, when Fusion. But again, we are not yet able to disclose a launch date. However, we are getting closer and closer than ever. I know that we say that almost every AMA, but it is the truth. I mean, we have made actual progress that is verifiable. We have an audit that came back. We gave an amazing update last week, so please go back and listen to the older AMAs. But the audit is done, and now literally the development team is just finalizing things. So they're completing all the minor issues that we found. We're cleaning up the code. We are finalizing everything that the audit had mentioned we needed to do, and then building out the marketplace. And so literally we could be going into closed testing soon. Again, we say LA will kill me if I say an actual date before we're ready. And again, the reason that we're doing that is so that we're not in this situation that we're in now, where after 2 years almost, and again, that's what the community says. In reality, we've never given a
Yeah,
date.
that's not
Yeah,
yours.
right, exactly. In reality, we've never given a date, and even from the very first time that we mentioned, Fusion, it's only been about a year. And even at that, we had to, say where we're going before we get there. So there's no it's humanly impossible to give, info on a new direction without mentioning it. So anyway, I don't want to get too far into this, but the whole thing is that once we have everything done and like literally working on a private test net, then we will be able to announce a date, because we're not going to wait all this time, announce a date, and then not be able to actually launch on that date. So just know that we are extremely close, and even when we do announce a date, you'll have about 2 weeks to finalize the sacrifice, because we really need to also get it in front of all the influencers. We'll be doing the largest AMA train of all time with Fusion. And, obviously we don't want to be promoting something when people can't even sacrifice. So that's all part of the plan. But anyway, I don't want to go too much into Fusion again, but LA, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, just to sum it all up in a nutshell, we are getting closer than ever. We gave such a good update last week. If you were here to hear it, the audit is 100% complete, and our development team is basically just working on completing those little minor issues that they found on the audit and finalizing those items that they discovered, as well as building out the marketplace.
Perfect. Okay. All right, on to Sentinel Squadron NFTs. Again, we've not forgotten about you, I promise. They are literally at the tippy top of the priority list. So I'm hoping that I get an update from the devs within a matter of moments that it's ready. So we'll have another update. We'll give you another update on Thursday if I don't have one before Thursday. But we're super close again. I know the only thing that is left to do is the actual migration. The new code is finished again because we have to reward a different token than MDB. It required a full rewrite of the code, but now we just got to migrate everybody's balances and we're off to the races. So, all right, stay tuned for that. Power ups. This is a good one. So, Ella, you want to go over this? You've been spearheading this one, so go ahead.
For sure. So we announced on our last AMA that we were going to be doing this. I waited till today so that we could kind of announce where we're heading with the results on tonight's AMA. But I posted a poll in both our Telegram and Discord group this morning, and I'm going to leave the poll up for 24 hours. So we'll have our results tomorrow. But basically, we have noticed that with ETH gas prices just absolutely soaring, that when we go to distribute the Power Up rewards on a weekly basis, the gas prices are just really, really eating into the rewards that we're able to distribute. And so we wanted to post a poll and just ask the Power Up holders how often they would like to receive their rewards, if it means that there is less gas being paid and then in turn more rewards. And so far it looks like, well, first of all, there were 3 options: weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. And so far it looks like both on Telegram and Discord, most people so far have voted for once a month. But I will keep you updated come tomorrow with the final results, and we will be moving forwards with whatever has the highest votes. AJ and I are not casting a vote. It will be whatever the community votes for, we'll go with. So.
Yep, 100%. Could not agree more. And yeah, the whole idea is that we just want to be more efficient. And that doesn't mean that in the future, when and if ETH prices come back down, obviously we would go back to rewarding users, weekly. Um, but I think that again, and having a 1x, deliver, that will be a big thing. Hopefully we can utilize that technology to cut down on some of the gas fees. So anyway, we are hoping to make that happen. And really L1X, I mean you're still going to pay gas on ETH no matter what, but we will be able to bridge it over at least cheaply. So but anyway, again, the killer is spending $200 on an ETH gas fee is just insanity. So unfortunately, it's out of our control. But this is the moves that we have to make under the circumstances. So, and I think everybody's been pretty. I know what monthly's winning by a landslide right now. So, I think right is that the case, LA? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that would be a lot better, at least in the short term, for sure. So, all right. Is that it? Anything else about EMP or the EMP ecosystem? We have 2 more sections and then Q&A.
Not at this time.
All right, perfect. So on to L1 Dex. So again, a bit of an update with this. I know a lot of you have been waiting for an update about the Dex. We will be giving one very soon. We're working hard behind the scenes as we get closer and closer to the mainnet, and just want to make sure we have all of our ducks in a row before we make the announcement. We want you to understand that there is, an order of operation and everything that we do, and that many of the steps up until now hinged on being, given certain data, information, access, all of the above for the foundation. And so, even though it appears that we are, lagging, it is what it is. So, we'll have a full announcement that really gives some clarity to everything, I think. But progress is being made. Just put it that way for sure. And while we would like to give again an entire game plan of the rollout, this particular launch hasn't functioned the same as any of any other launches that we've ever been involved in, especially with some of the more recent changes. So you have to understand that that was out of our control. Literally everything has been out of our control at this point. So just bear with us and hold tight for a bullish announcement coming. Again, we have every intention of moving forward with L1 DEX. It's just going to be a little different than maybe uh, was originally planned. But yeah, we'll get you the info as soon as we can. All right, awesome. Uh, Anything else with L1 Dex?
Nope.
All right, moving on to Austin and consensus. So we spoke about this on the last AMA. We're finally ready to reveal that we are going to be doing one of my first in-person meetups. So LA was at consensus last year. I know there was a lot of emperors that showed up, which was great. Um, but now we're gonna take it to even the next level. We're hoping to organize some actual, EMP and Spark specific meetups. Unfortunately, we're not gonna have a booth this year, but hopefully in coming years we'll be able to get our exposure, a little bit more for some of these conventions, especially with Pulse and Spark side, and obviously EMP. We couldn't have really promoted Fusion this year because we're just not getting it out. But in coming years, all of the above for sure. So all right, then Ella, you want to add anything to that? Some dates and where they can find their tickets?
Yeah, so both of us will be attending the conference, and we will be arranging an Emperor and Sparky meetup for anyone who wants to meet us down in Austin and attend the event. The event itself will be the 29th to 31st of May in Austin, Texas. And you can get your tickets at the link that I just posted in the YouTube chat. It is held by CoinDesk. The event is called Consensus. Last year was really amazing. I got to meet David, OMC, and Gene down there, so that was really great. And we would absolutely love to meet more of you. It would help us to know in advance who plans to be down there so that we know how many people we're going to be arranging for, so that we can kind of plan the style of that event that will accommodate that amount of people. And then we can plan a meetup for all of us. So let us know if you plan on coming to Austin, and we look forward to meeting you.
Amazing, absolutely. So yeah, it will be a great event, and we'll be giving many more updates as it gets closer. But consensus is one of the best. I don't know, LA. You've been to a few now in terms of crypto conferences, but I know you said on the last AMA it was a bit overwhelming, huh, in the beginning, but then being there a few days, they have a lot of cool seminars.
Yeah, it was great. There's a really good mixture of speakers, and then the opportunity to go to the different booths and speak to people and find out about all different things. And then there were different networking events that you could go to where there might be, 50 people, and you'd have an opportunity to break off into those smaller groups to get some great networking in. I met some great people. There's still some people there that I still text with a year later that I still keep in contact with on a pretty regular basis. So um, I think overall it was a really successful event, and I'm looking forward to going back this year.
Perfect. All right, awesome. Well, we got through the bulk of our AMA. Again, not too bad. I mean, we're used to our hour and a half, 2 hour AMAs. So, but a lot of information covered today. Before we get into questions, I wanted to mention one more thing. And we're going to be doing a specific AMA about this, hopefully this week, or later this week at most. But, and that is Ceto swap. So, I know, again, we had teased it a little bit from, again, the Dex Finance guys. They had a prior arrangement with some other influencers that you may know with this particular Dex, but we are still involved. And again, the idea, and we'll be dropping more alpha on this, but just like we're implementing a PLS bridge to X1 through Swap X, we are planning on also implementing this bridge to Manta network as well. So, I think that the same thing applies that we were speaking about earlier. The idea is that we are trying to build out this entire network of bridges, and that again was part of our title in the video today. And that again is just more and more revenue, more volume, and more exposure to Pulse. So definitely check it out. Ceto's been really good. They've had their initial pump and sell off. So now, again, not financial advice. Now would be a great time to maybe look into it. And then again, with the Pulse Bridge coming later on, that would be another good option. And another really cool thing about Ceto, which again, we'll have Jake back on to talk specifically. But they are utilizing a similar concept. Again, what do they say? Imitation is the best form of flattery. With Sparkler, and again, I mean, we love the Dex Finance guys. We're essentially the same team now, anyway. So we had a lot of input in creating the 404 NFT for Ceto Swap. So similarly to Sparkler, where the idea is that you lock up your tokens to earn a yield of the revenue of the protocol. That is the same sort of concept with their NFTs, their 404 NFTs. So again, we could do a whole AMA on this, so I'm not going to spend too much time, especially since today was a long one. But we'll have them on specifically, and this is just my early heads up to all of you that have listened to the AMAs. Definitely check out Ceto on Manta, and get over and start yielding if you can. Again, never sell your core positions to get into something new. Get rid of something that's underperforming and use that to speculate. So we don't want, again, people leaving Spark or EMP, but this is yet another ecosystem to earn and bring funds back to EMP, or vice versa. Again, it's not necessarily a competition, especially because we're all earning from the volume anyway. But definitely, again, check out Ceto and keep an eye out for a future AMA together. So, all right, LA, we can move on to questions.
Perfect. I was just pulling them up.
All right.
Okay. Where did we leave off last time? So you already answered that. We already addressed that. I mean, we've already answered all the questions on Discord, so we're good.
Amazing. All right. Well, that's a good sign. I know we again, we try to go through and answer indirectly everything that we see over the days leading up to the AMA. But yeah, all right. Well, that's great. We're doing our job, LA. Yeah. Cool. All right. Any other yeah, go ahead. In the
Nope.
live chat. Nope.
No, I think that's it. The only one was just a joke, so.
Okay. All right. And I thought I'd mentioned two others to you too, but maybe I already covered them.
Oh yeah. Let's let me have a look at that. I thought you may have answered them before, but let me take a look at that.
Okay. Sorry, yeah, we're all over the place here. At the end of the AMA, I know I had to get, we were running out of time, so.
Yeah. You wanted us to cover about sacrificing in regards to Detonator again.
Okay, yep, perfect. That was it. I think I covered the other one already. So, and yeah, Aaron, I see you too, brother. Chad, hang out, bro. We'll get you on next. So, all right. So I just wanted to reiterate, we had some, I had some DMs about sacrificing detonator position. So I just wanted to go over this one more time. Again, we've gone over it 100 times, but I'm happy to go over it again. It's all in our white paper, and in the explainer videos that LA painstakingly put together. So please make sure that you go and watch and read all of the documentation we already have. But so detonator and all DOS contracts. The idea is that we are only allowing people to claim from those contracts and nodes, again, literally every secondary contract in the ecosystem. Um, you are sacrificing, or I'm sorry, you're claiming for sacrifice points. And then those sacrifice points are what determine your ownership of the central grid and essentially your microgrid. So if all of that was gibberish to you, then please read our documents to know what the microgrid and what the sacrifice phase is. But essentially, what we're doing is we're eliminating the ability for people to just claim out of detonator contracts and nodes and sell their EMP. So you are forced now to claim, and then that claim is applied to the central grid. However, you are still able to cash out. So there's a really big, but there because, we're big believers in not forcing anybody to do anything, even if it is best for the protocol. So if you hate EMP and you want to just claim every day from those contracts, now you will have no choice but to claim into the sacrifice, get your sacrifice points. You will then be given, your equivalent value in a microgrid NFT, and then you can sell that NFT on the market. So you will have to take a few additional steps, but you will still be able to get liquid out, and that doesn't hurt. That process doesn't hurt the price of EMP or eShare, which is the beautiful part. So you're still able to sell. Now, obviously, there has to be a buyer for that NFT on the other side, but you are able to sell. So that is important. So again, to reiterate, you can claim or compound in all DOS contracts, but if you do decide to claim, it will be applied to Fusion and through sacrifice points. And we will hopefully be able to let you sacrifice your entire position in detonator or reactor or nodes. Um, however, we can't allow that right off the bat because it would severely dilute everybody else, and it will be a calculation based on what you're owed, not necessarily your full payout balance. So remember, being able to sacrifice early and get credit for your DOS positions is a convenience. So we hopefully will have that ability, a few months after launch. And hopefully when, we're back at peg and the ecosystem can sustain that. But we don't want to do it too soon because it will severely dilute everybody else. So, all right,
And I'm going to come in
go
with
ahead,
one of
Elliot.
my
Yes,
disclaimers
please.
here.
Thank you.
As usual, I know when we say things that people like to hold to them like an absolute T. That being said, with what he just said, that is something that may or may not happen in the future.
For sure.
So, as for right now, the only thing that you can count on for sure is what is written in the white paper and what he just went over at the beginning that is going to happen in the MVP. So count on that. As for right now, and in the future, if you're able to sacrifice your entire remaining value, count that as a bonus. Because right now, the reality is that you can sacrifice any claims that you make, and that's going to be the reality for at least the next few months.
Perfect. 100%. Again, disclaimer, red tape, asterisk, all the above. So, all right, awesome. I think that clarifies the majority of what I wanted to discuss. And again, we will be having a Detonator V3 update as well upon sacrifice, so that should also help those contracts recover in terms of pool balance. And again, that's the reality. I mean, to LA's point, one more little side note. I know this was a question from last week. Uh, why does detonator balance keep going down? That's because there's more people selling than going into it, and there's no amount of promo or development work or things that we can do that will alter that. So that's the whole point of really resurrecting this entire system where it is attractive to go into those contracts again, and the pool balance will start going up again because all the incentive is there. I mean, we have the lottery, we have all the mechanisms. V3 will make those even more powerful in terms of, not being able to claim too much. So yeah, again, LA, I don't know if you want to add to that, but we have a very
Yeah.
specific plan that is coming together for sure. Yeah.
I just want to say, like, an analogy, like what's been happening with Detonator is the equivalent of, your mom putting polysporin on a cut for you, and you picking at your scab constantly and then saying to your mom, why am I getting a scar? Why am I getting a scar, Mom? It's your fault. Like, why is this happening? And then she keeps coming in and, putting that Band-Aid on for you, and you keep taking it off and picking at it, but then saying, why am I getting a scar? Well, it's all of the users who are claiming more often than compounding, but then it's the users who are saying, hey, Dev, do something. The pool balance is draining. But that same user is the one draining the pool balance because they think that all the other users are draining the pool balance and they better drain it faster. So if you want to help support that contract, you need to help yourself take the actions that you want to see and help encourage the other users to take those actions as well. And then at the same time, we are going to implement those changes that will make the protocol more sustainable as we move forwards into Fusion. But you have to realize that we all along have been promoting and doing all of these other things. It's the user's individual decisions to claim more often than compound, when all along we have been teaching, that healthy ratio, and the decision to go against that is what has caused this draining to happen. So stop picking your scabs.
I love it.
and then blaming your mom for trying to help you. Just leave the Band-Aid on. God damn it.
Exactly. Yes, we all have to be those harsh parents right now. Yeah, totally, LA. All right, no, I couldn't agree more. And again, we will have more info on that, once Sacrifice is here, and there's a very real possibility, that those that have been compounding, are getting a ton of value out because they're getting, more sacrifice points and they've been building their ownership to be able to translate that into more sacrifice points. So Detonator DOS contracts and all the secondary contracts get even more gamified, with Fusion. So, all right. All right. Do we want to bring on Aaron really quick, LA? I don't know if he may have
For sure.
left. I don't see him. Oh, here he is. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, brother. How are you, man? Good to hear from you.
LA, AJ, how you guys doing?
Good.
Real quick, how long have you guys been live already? I don't want to hold the show up. I just hopped on. Sorry about the late arrival.
Yeah, no worries, bro. We've been on. It is a long one today, but yeah, if you have a question or an update, how are things over in the Oregon project?
Yeah.
Bro? Yeah.
Yeah, things are great. I was just to piggyback kind of off what like LA was just saying. With Detonator, it's like with other like projects, I always remember, like after we got into what was it? The end of 2022, and we started to really slide into the deep bear market. People were like, WTF, what's going on, right?
For sure.
Where it's, I really remember you guys saying, I remember everybody in, like part of the team was saying, like, remember the detonator wasn't like where you put your whole bag in, like you got your BTC, you got your ETH, and then this is like this fun contract. I mean, I say fun because I got the same kind of like cool dopamine hits like when I would go out to the casinos,
For sure, bro.
and I'd be playing slots. I mean, do you guys got casinos out in Florida?
Yeah, on the Indian
Yeah.
reservations. Yeah, man, totally.
Yeah. I mean, look, you don't go to the casino every day. I mean, and I'd throw a few beans in Detonator, and you got the chance to come on the AMAs with you guys and play the lottery and the rollover. And it was a cool like community project where I think when people are, well, I guess flooding the chat or whatever, but like it was never meant to be. I mean, this is just kind of my my little grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt, whatever that's saying. You
For
get my
sure.
point, right?
100%, man.
Yeah. And I mean, of course, we're all the degen in me kind of. I ended up throwing a little bit too many beans in Detonator, like a lot of us. But yeah, I mean, so what's my point? I don't know. The Detonator is still a really awesome contract, and we went into a bear market, guys. I mean, I don't know how you can't really you can't not everything ties together, and yeah, I just not a huge grand point here or anything. I just think well, I was gonna say it's kind of interesting you guys were talking about the Detonator because I don't know. I think it's gonna come back. I think we can actually like really boost it up again and have like some really fun AMAs, maybe with like the rollover and like
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, those were wild. Some of those Friday AMAs with like people throwing 20K in there. I mean, whew.
I know, brother, no doubt. Well, it was part of a community, and it will be again. It's a community building project or contract. I mean, and it was
Yeah.
fun. I mean, we got on the live stream. We celebrated each other. We celebrated the wins. And to your point, Aaron, and I think this is probably the biggest point I want to make, above and beyond what you and LA had said, and that really is. And LA touched on it a little bit. From the very get-go, we had always been promoting that it's important to establish your core positions in EMP through the farm. And the same reason that we
Yes,
say,
exactly.
yeah, bro, totally. And the same reason we say it now in Sparkler, or in Spark rather, where you want to have your farm positions to feed Sparkler. I mean, obviously we call it the infinite money loop, and Detonator was part of that, because and I know we the reason we call it that is because it was a good marketing name, and obviously it's a bit tongue in cheek, but it makes sense when applied correctly, and so yeah, I just want to make sure that and you can go back and listen to all the AMAs from 2 years ago. All of it's there. I mean, all of it's on the YouTube in archive.
Yeah.
So you can hear that we have always promoted to have a good balance. But yeah, and I agree, Aaron. I think now that we are getting out of the bear, we're into the bull. Once we make those V3 changes and make the detonator contracts even more sustainable, not to mention, being able to sacrifice into Fusion, man, we could definitely see a resurgence on those contracts, and those that have been compounding or at least know how to, play the game, so to speak. You guys all will have an advantage in that for sure. So.
Yeah, we can. I'll get some DJs. We'll throw a party for Detonator again.
For sure,
Those were
bro.
really fun.
Yes.
And yeah, one of these days I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win the lottery. I still got my fingers crossed.
Yeah, brother. Even after all these attempts, you still have never won the lottery, really. That's funny. Yeah. All
No,
right. Well, I'm rooting for you now, man. Yeah. I thought you at least did it once, but man, that is
no, I
crazy.
hit the I won generator and I won cultivator back in the
Okay.
day. but not the detonator.
Not a detonator. All right. Well, you're on my list now. Watch, now it'll happen. People will think it's rigged. So, but yeah, man.
Right, right.
Yeah. So, all right, awesome, bro. Anything else? Seriously, how are things at Oregon? I know, we're again, for those that don't know, you're on the very short list of the first projects that we're going to be adding liquidity to, and hopefully we'll have an update on that coming up. But everything good on your end?
Oh yeah, and the really cool thing too about my sparkler is I kind of named it the Oregon Sparkler. So I got a daily feed of Pulse that I get to load up my Spark bag, and then the Pulse is going right into is buying Oregon, and so it's kind of
Amazing.
like this really cool money generator. Yeah.
Yeah,
So things are
literally.
cool.
Yeah, bro, I
Yeah.
love it. So there you go. Again, a project that understands, utilizing real yield to support their token. So yeah, man. Again, awesome job, bro. Keep up the hard work. And yeah, man. Thank you for jumping on for sure. Was there anything else
Yeah, I haven't
before
come on.
you head off? Yeah.
No, man, I haven't hopped on in a while, so I just want to say what's up to LA, say what's up to you guys, say what's up to everybody in EMP, and we're going into the bull, you guys. So it's hard. I know you got to shake off. I'm about to head out to the gym, but things are looking up. We're gonna, we got the halving, and we got some heavy volatility coming up. But look, man, once everything starts popping off, the detonators are gonna come back, and we'll throw some parties. Well, I'll get some DJs, and we'll get some house music, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, bro.
What
I
was it
can't
called?
wait.
Detonator Fridays?
Yeah, Detonator Friday. Yeah,
Yes.
It was
hell
awesome, man.
yeah,
Yeah, that the resident DJ, bro. Aaron
yeah.
was killing it. So yeah, we gotta definitely get that going again, man.
All right, guys, take care.
All right,
Thanks,
man.
Aaron.
You got it. Good to hear from you, brother. All
Hey,
right. Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
AJ, one more thing on that topic,
yeah, please,
because
LA, for sure.
I feel like you probably said it so many times back in the day that you could probably just roll it right off your tongue. But the other day, someone in Discord actually said, because someone said they referred to Detonator as a game, and then someone replied and said, oh, thank you for making it make sense for me. I've never heard anyone from the team ever refer to it as a game before.
Wow, that is crazy.
And
Yes, we.
I said, we only said it about 100 times on every single AMA for the first year of its life. So what was your famous saying that you used to say on every single AMA
Oh
when you
man.
described you'd say it? Do you remember?
I, oh, sorry. Hang on. I gotta cough real quick, LA. You put me on the spot. 1 second. Go. All right. Sorry about that. Can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
All right. So yeah. So you put me on the spot, but I think. I mean, obviously, we said it was a game. What was? Can
You
you give
would
me a
say
hint?
it's not. You would say it's a game. It's not an annuity, and
Yes,
then
that
you would.
was it. So yeah, so again, it's that annuity again. That is a promise of a return. I mean, it is absolutely a game for sure. So I don't remember the exact wording, but you can look it up. Do
Yeah,
you
you would
remember, LA?
say it's.
Yeah.
You would say it's a game. It's not an annuity, and you would say it so often that that was just like so drilled in my mind.
Yeah.
It it was right when I was starting at EMP about 2 years ago, and when you would describe Detonator, like that sentence was just drilled in my mind because you would
Well,
say it all the
it
time.
it worked. It didn't drill into my mind, obviously, after not remembering, but no, I mean, and it's true. I mean, obviously, now that you say that, I remember saying it probably 1,000 times. But yeah, and the whole idea is that other protocols have literally said that it is an annuity and of their own ROI platforms, which blows my mind. I mean, again, for those. It's not a CD. That was another thing I used to say. Certificate of deposit. It is a game. It is not any of those other financial instruments. So, yeah, absolutely, LA for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, so I think that was a great AMA. Lots of info given here, so lots to sink in. But thank you guys for hanging in there with us through a longer one today. We appreciate all of you. Please make sure you've given this stream a little like on your way out. But got a lot of exciting stuff coming up this week. We have the AMA coming up with SwapX on Wednesday at 4 p.m. We've got a bunch of stuff. Today was jam-packed. Literally, I didn't take a break until 5:15 when I took my dog for a walk before the AMA. But we are working on so much exciting stuff to put into motion and all good things. So very, very happy and excited about the direction everything is going.
Totally. Could not agree more, LA. I know, with us being in the weeds every day and as team members, we see the writing on the wall and we do everything we can to express that to all of you. But again, I've said it many, many times. I'm sure you will agree. I don't think I've ever been more excited for the future of both of our protocol, all three, including L1X, from here on out, right? I mean, what do you think, LA?
Sure. And it just seems like we just keep having this ability to do more and more. And this partnership with DexFi has just been such a blessing because our ability to do so much more development in such a quicker time has just become so solidified. As powerful as the three of us were before, it's 10 times that now because we just have so many more people at our disposal, and not just any people, but very, very talented people who have the same ideals and values as we do and the same work ethic. So it's just really, really given us all, I want to say so much hope for the future, but that just seems like so flighty. um, so it just has given us such a powerful purpose to keep driving for every single day when we wake up, and just a lot of confidence and excitement, I think, moving
Yeah,
forwards.
totally, LA. And yeah, I know what you mean. It's not because we never not had hope. So we don't want to say we have hope now, but it's basically like recruiting, an all-star quarterback and offensive line. To put it in sports terminologies,
Yeah.
now we have, the John Elway. I don't know, is he or Dan Marino? I guess I'm from Florida. I guess I should say, Dan Marino behind us now. So, yeah, a shout out to Florida Joe. I'm sure he'll love that. So anyway, yeah, so yeah, the point is that now, we can implement our vision and our success that much faster. And so, if you're not bullish on what we're doing, I don't know what to tell you, but we are bullish as ever for sure. So, all right,
For sure.
awesome. Yeah, go ahead, Elliot.
We drink our own Kool-Aid on a
We
daily
do.
basis, and it tastes damn good.
Yes, no doubt. We definitely do. So, all right, awesome. Well, I think that will wrap it up then. Like LA said, we have a very important AMA on Wednesday, and obviously join us again for our own AMA on Thursday. We will post the recording of that AMA for Wednesday and give a lot more info on SwapX. The most, again, imperative thing in the meantime is to sign up for the whitelist if you plan on buying into the pre-sale of SwapX. Check out the announcement that we pin in all of our socials, or again, follow the link in the descriptions to get there. But all right, LA, any final word? Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
You all rock.
All right, there you have it. That's a pretty good final word. Oh man. All right, thank you all for being here. Much love. We appreciate all of you. Like Ellie also said, please make sure to smash the like button on the way out, subscribe, and share this video with all your friends. All right, we will see you on Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. In the meantime, keep an eye out for other announcements in all of our socials. Good night. Good day. See you on Thursday.